probably 25 years ago with James Carville, who was my co-host at CNN, and, a great guy in some ways, a great guy, but very smart. And I said something about Israel, some humiliation. They were shooting into the Church of the Nativity, murdering a bell ringer. So I was like, I don't want to fight about Israel. I never have wanted to. But I said, that is just too much. I mean, whatever it was at the moment. And he goes, I'll never forget this. He goes, you want your kids to get into college? I was like, I guess. I had little kids, a lot of them. And he goes, then you'll shut up. I was like, you think that would affect my kids' ability to get into college? I'd never even thought of that before. Of course. Then you'll shut up. Quote. That's a verbatim quote. You want your kids to get into college and you'll shut up. And to my shame, I guess, I did kind of shut up for like 20 years. It's like, I don't want to deal with this at all. I've got all kinds of things I'm interested in. I'm not that interested in Israel. Love Jerusalem, but like, I don't want to get involved. So I'm not trying to be melodramatic, but that's real. And did you ever have a moment where you're like, maybe I just ignore it. Let it slide.
Yeah. No. And so, Tucker, it happened to me. So there's a private school in LA. It actually happened to Anna too in two different ways. So, and we applied for my son to get into that private school. And one of my nephews happens to work as a volunteer in that school. And someone at admission told him that my son's application was going to be hurt because of his dad's positions on Israel.
Actually?
They actually said that out loud.
That's why the Israelis have been happy to murder tens of thousands of children in Gaza, because they believe in blood guilt. That's the truth. They say it out loud. Amalek, we believe in blood guilt. Like, the children are responsible for the sins of their parents. So we're going to kill them or not let them into the school. And we face this a lot in my family. So yeah.
Yeah. So that's a ramification for us personally. And as you know, Anna's husband is a coach at another private school, and they try to get him fired. And they demanded like some sort of Maoist apology where he denounces his own wife and calls her an anti-Semite publicly. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do it.
His own wife.
Yeah. They're like, you must denounce your own wife. Otherwise, we don't feel safe. Okay. What is that? And so
we don't feel safe. You're threatening to wreck my family, but you're the one who doesn't feel safe.
Because it's always projection. They're always the victims. So like, why do I say Jake Tapper? Like, Jake is just representative of the mainstream media overall. Israel keeps taking more and more land. You could see it on a map. They just took 53% of Gaza, and Jake and the rest go self-defense. No, but wait a minute, brother. I can see the map. Israel is growing. They say they want greater Israel. They're doing greater Israel. They're the ones that killed the Palestinians and then took their land. And then Jake goes, no, don't believe your lying eyes. Don't believe your lying ears. Israel is the victim. They're always the victim. They're going to fire you, but they're the victim.
Who does Jake work for? Like, why would you, that's absurd. Why would you say something like that? What is your mission?
Okay. And I challenge Jake. I challenge all of cable news anchors. So why don't you talk about, for example, one of hundreds of things that we've mentioned here, but another one is 9 Americans killed in Israel over the last 3 years. 9 Americans killed not accidentally, but by Israeli settlers or the IDF. Murder.
Actually?
You know how much?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Do you know how many consequences there's been? 0. Our government does not ask for them to be arrested. What do you mean? An American citizen is killed?
What about Mike Huckabee? He's the American ambassador.
Who just met with Jonathan Pollard, the traitor, in the U.S. Embassy without telling the CIA or Donald Trump. Mike Huckabee's not our ambassador. He's their ambassador.
I know.
Okay.
It's sad to see a man so degraded.
Yeah. So where's our justice for the 9 Americans killed? Are we going to even ask for justice? Or is Israel literally above the law? They can kill Americans and totally get away with it. Our government won't even ask for redress, right?
Well, I think we know that's true already.
But it's a fact. It's not disputable. And then you got Tom Alexandrovich. So he's the guy who is an Israeli cybersecurity official, goes to Vegas and looks to rape an American girl, right? So he's like, oh, this is a great opportunity for basically pedophile tourism. I'll go to America, and I know as an Israeli, I won't be held accountable. So he gets caught in a sting operation. Got him. Okay, good. Gets caught with 8 other Americans who were also involved in that operation. The 8 Americans are in jail right now in Nevada. Alexandrovich back to Israel. Free ride.
How?
But wait, you can't say that the Americans who did something terrible should be in prison. Great, wonderful, totally agree. But the Israeli is allowed to do it. And he can rape any American girl he wants here, and he gets a free ride back to Israel. No. So right now, he's technically under arrest, but our government isn't doing anything to try to get him back. No, we want him extradited.
But what about Mike Huckabee? Is he going to, is he brokering an extradition? Because he tried to rape an American girl, you say.
That's a fact. No, Mike Huckabee is not doing anything. So the Americans killed, no consequences. Americans...
Did Mike Huckabee complain about the 9 you said 9 Americans have been killed?
Yes.
Did Huckabee say anything about it?
Not to my knowledge. If he said anything, it's been incredibly quiet. Okay. And hey, Mike Huckabee, if you want to prove me wrong, get out there and fight for it. Say, God damn it, they killed 9 Americans and I'll fight like hell. Forget tomorrow. Forget yesterday. Do focus on tomorrow. Go get him, Ambassador Huckabee. Let's see what you got. Demand that they extradite Alexandrovich back to Nevada where he faces consequences like the other people who were caught. Where are you? Where are you? I mean, this happens over and over again through since Israel has been formed. Robert Maxwell stole our nuclear secrets. The worst possible thing you could do. We didn't even arrest him. And when I looked into why didn't we arrest Robert Maxwell? Because it would have caused an international incident that embarrassed Israel. Well, they should be embarrassed. They stole our nuclear secrets when they were pretending to be our allies. They should be deeply, deeply embarrassed. No. Not only was Robert Maxwell not arrested, he was allowed to buy textbooks in America that go into our kids' schools. We're letting a traitor like that, a guy, he wasn't American, but he was a British citizen. He was and he lived here, he lived there. And we're letting him buy the textbooks that go into our kids' schools after he stole our nuclear secrets. And eventually got a state funeral. Again, heroes welcome in Israel. Congratulations. Are we ever going to stand up for this country? So how about the spies we caught after 9/11? Okay, put aside whether they knew, didn't know what their activity was, but we rounded up dozens and dozens of Israeli spies. Okay, great job, FBI, CIA, whoever did it. Fantastic. Really proud of you. And then we let them go back to Israel. Is that a thing we do? If we catch a Russian spy or an Iranian spy or a Dutch spy, do we go, oh, you're free to go? Aren't we supposed to arrest them and keep them in prison? But when it comes to Israel, there are no laws. There are no rules. They're allowed to do anything you want. And if you object, Jake Tapper comes